gentleman, he is the secret of the Triple A. Triple A is the three big brothers. Ali Hussein is Jamalul Kiram. Ali Hussein is Jamalul Kiram. Ali Hassan is Jamalul Alam. Ali Usman is Ismail Kiram. He's still alive, 111 years old, which the 68 containers, believe me or not, is ready in the Bank ng Araw Punta Kinabalu. Worth of trillion US dollars, waiting for this old man to open to release the fund. That's why we chose the vow to have a livelihood. Wala na tayo po pag-away-awayan kasi we are all Filipinos. Because Bangsamoro is colonized by the Spain. Before we are called Banwa. This Banwa is the villagers. We are tribals before. But once we embrace to Muslim, we were called the Malay. Malay, now Filipino. Assalamualaikum.
I'd like to add to that, ang pera talagang pinag-isa na yan. All the banking institutions throughout the world will be given notices to that. No, na nasa atin na yan. Kaya nga nahihirapan na sila. Ito, I just spoken to one officer of the Federal Reserve, and they told me that the mother account, all the money in the world is already put into one, and only the Federal Reserve can release that account through the Royal ICJ. And by Amira Sira can attest to that, why HRH Sukarno and their team trying to find the king and queen. Why? Can you say further to this? Why they are looking for the king and queen, especially today and the near future? Why?
There's this, as I mentioned earlier, there's a fund there for HRH Sukarno alone. From 5 banks that they have about 17 billion USD, and that's only for him, HRH Sukarno. The mother, who's in Italy right now, he has another account also. Those were frozen, by the way, because they cannot release it. The bank, the HSBC guys whom we met for the past 2 years, not negotiating, but complying the requirements, because we were advised, or we were required by HSBC main office Hong Kong, that we have to follow the Basel III. Maybe the banks know about the Basel III compliance. So we did the Basel III compliance, but at the end of the day, they said, no, we cannot release it because you have to look for this. The Thomas Village, there was the compliance officer of HRH Sukarno, just talked to me and said, please, we need this Sultanate of Sulu, look for them, because it's them who can just open and release, not release, but sign for all the HRHs, meaning all the Sultanate of Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, it's them who can sign. So that was just the very recent news about that. But with regards to the accounts, for HSBC alone, there's this William Morales account. They said it William, aka William Morales account. It's already 50 billion. And there are lots of accounts in BDO, HSBC Philippines, Makati. DBS, Development Bank of Singapore, Makati also we have there. And I know not Development Bank, but Amana Bank was under now, Development Bank of the Philippines, we have there too. We know the account number. Even with the BDO, we already have verified all of this, and it's only Royal ICJ, Vicky Nathaniel, who can help us, and also who's helping actually the protocol for us to follow. With Ama Ali, we will be bringing him soon as we leave also and meet the HSBC executives with regards to the redemption of this. So if we are talking of how much, it's actually metric ton, 1.8 million metric tons pop up of gold. Bullion. Yeah, 500,000 of diamonds and all those stuff. So that's the backup now. So the accounts are there spreading. In fact, in DBS Singapore, there's also an account there that even he himself can open it.
Maybe. Maybe we don't have to go into the exact figures. However, just to summarize, maybe this is enough money to run the whole projects and the whole visions that we have for Mindanao. Sobra po. More perhaps than the money of the Philippine government the last 50 years, I believe. Ganun po kalaki ang pera nito ngayon po. And all these projects that we are actually visioning, the money will be enough to support it. Tama po ba?
Yes.
Maybe the question is how are we going to handle this fund?
Additional lang, we're already dreaming, no? But I'd like to tell you a secret also, my secret. This was promised to me a long time ago. The promise is written in scriptures. I'll give you the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which called thee by thy name, I'm the God of Israel. Sa akin lang yun. Ha? So anyway, this is for everybody. We were told all over the Philippines that we will have more than enough. So, ang iba nagdaan sa kanila, ang iba nagdaan dito, but each one of us will have his own. Okay?
Right, with regards to that thing, how this fund will be handled? Marami hong kiram-kiraman na nagkalat sa buong Pilipinas na nagkakalat na may pera sila at nag-o-organize ng iba-ibang taong nagko-collect pa ng membership fee mula noong 2011, Bangsamoro, etc. Kung ano-anong mga pangalan, that nasa kanila na raw yung mga account and everything. They were even showing a lot of documents. Frankly, they came from this group also because when they got the documents, they formed their own their own group and went around. Anyhow, they have been promising to the people that once it's being released, we will give it to you. It's not as easy as that, and it's not like that. This fund, once released, that's why we were talking about bullion bank, because that's where we're going to put, and there's supposed to be banks who will handle this. And there's this Royal Financial Services will be on top of this for all those banks. Now, how are we going to do this? We have the process. Can we proceed to the process? Okay. Now, according to the Sultanate of Sulu, he wanted only to allocate for the Sultanate to them 10% of all. Okay. Then the 90% will be given to all the services, to everything through the bullion bank. Okay. And the financial services will be working with the different bank for the regulatory compliance. Because this, by the way, we will not just go there and ask the money or sign. It's not like that. There's a protocol, and the protocol was just given to us. There's supposed to be a template and all the project studies and everything, and also this roadmap where these funds will be going according to Sovereign Judge Ricky Nathaniel. They need the plan of the Royal Imperial where this fund will go. So I believe those that I presented is so this much to spend this much. So since hindi naman yun sabay-sabay na makukuha, according to them also, then we will start with what we can reach by our hand dito lang through these projects that we have started since 2011. Project studies that are according to the international banking regulations or compliance, okay? So RFS is a committee that will oversee the entire financial or fund management system of the Royal Imperial under the Royal Business Council. Okay. So this will be our structure. We have the market for the business development. We have the market development, the agriculture production development, the logistical services development, and the real estate development on the business development side. On the financial side, we have account managers for all. for JVCs, for MNCs, for SMEs, for real estate, and for the Royal Imperial Court. Then we have the audit. Of course, we always have the audit for IT, for process procedural audit, financial audit, and the legal or administration audit. Then we have the fund flow will always be like this. The company applicant will submit, we will have 2 accredited consulting firms who can do for the company applicants or the borrowers the project studies according to the international banking policies. It's them who will do all the project studies, just submit the proposal, letter written, etc. But this will go through this accredited consulting firms, which will be submitted to the Royal Business Council. Then it goes to the Royal Financial Services, submitted to the to the Royal Imperial for approval, and to the Amana Bank or to other banks, where this bullion bank will also distribute the funds. Okay, next please. Okay, these are the different functions of the different groups that we mentioned. The business development, where we have the market development, agriculture production, logistical, and real estate. And then we have here the process flow. So we have there the list, I'm sure you cannot see it, but you have the list there of all the things, the process that we are going through. And this is based on what we did before with HSBC Hong Kong Main. So we just followed that system, that protocol, which this system or this fund management system is required by the Royal ICJ for them also to process the redemption of all those funds. So those are different, we prepared that already because these are all for the protocol for compliance with the HSBC and other banks. For now, I'm sure in the future, yes, until the reset. They said there will be a reset, which will be on August. Oh my gosh, the beginning of next month, and we have the transitory. So these are the fund management flow for the financial. Also, we have for the business development, we have where the project studies be done and all those stuff. Then we have the financial flow, financial management, and audit, IT. Now, kung kayo po yung may project or what, may project, business development will handle that, the committee will handle that, before it will go to the financial side, department. And then, the tranches, based on the protocol also of banks, of international banks, the tranches of project, what is being written there in your project study, like the developmental stages of your project, when do you need this fund, there will be tranches. So once done with the first tranche, you have to liquidate the first tranche before the second tranche will be released. Yes, sir.
I am kudos.
Congratulations.
With that role with have we inputted in this production scheme on this the Islamic way, the profit sharing? Kasi it has been projected yung partnership. Kasi right now, ang problema ng mga small producers is the requirement being order equity to the production. If they just base on the loan they get from the farmers, and with the high rate of bank interest imposed with the bank, walang natitira sa farmer. Kung isang pagkatapos ng bayad nila, wala na matitira sa kanila. I think to help them, kailangan siguro a sort of joint venture and profit sharing scheme along the Islamic way?
Actually, yung profit sharing is, if you mean Islamic way, it's a perfect way, no? This fund, you know, once you're already qualified for a fund, wala yung sinasabi yung equity, na kung saan wala yung equity yun. Kasi sa protocol ng Heritage Fund, in fact, 1.5% lang. So 1.5% na yun, depende po sa project cost, no? Meron po silang binigay sa amin na ranges. If it is 500,000 below, ang payback period will be 6 months after the commercialization of your project. Meron namang mga 3 years after the commercialization, ganun yung payback period. So, hindi siya pare-pareho. Now, with regards po dun sa profit sharing or what, kasi po wala naman kayong equity doon at 1.5% lang yun. Ano yun? So, I believe that if you mean profit share, saan mo yun sa bank or sa main account? Or doon ho sa inyo pagdating sa project lang? Wala hong equity. Wala hong equity doon kasi hindi nga heritage fund po ito, hindi naman ito personal na pera ni King and Queen or what. Pera ho ito ng Mindanaoans. Okay? Pera ho natin to. Kaya ayaw ho naman nating ng advantage doon. They have very pure heart and they don't want this. Ang lang ng protocol ng bangko, kailangan talagang may interest. And sa heritage fund now, it's 1.5%. And the payback will be based on the kind of project. Kasi kung ang commercialization will be after finishing the developmental stages of your project, tapos ka na at na-commercialize mo na yung project mo or yung company mo, after 6 months, dependent on your ROI scheduling, they will base the payback period where it starts, when it starts. So, hindi ho pare-pareho yan. May yung katulad ng banana plantation, payback period will start 2 years from the date of commercialization. Ganon. Nasagot ko ba? Okay.
If I may summarize actually, there is no worry about that because sa rate of interest pa lang po, masyado na maliit. Hindi po 16% or 18%. We're talking about 1.5% per annum. At saka wala pong collateral na kailangan. Walang equity. Based po sa project study. Pag qualified po, at saka papasa po doon, you'll be awarded. Then ganun po. So, yung sinasabi mo kanina na, ay, pagkatapos wala lang, ito na naman iyon sa akin. Tama-tama lang. Bibili ng bigas at saka ulam. Tama-tama. Ganun po yan. So, don't worry about that.
Yung project, yung profit share na sinasabi, yung profit share, kung ano yung mga for free natin, dahil may mga for free tayo na services, it will always go there. Siya ang magko-compensate daw. Yung mga interest na binabayaran will compensate to all our expenses with regards to free services.
Ang aking conceptualize noon pa, yung sa pag-divide ng profit, it depends on how much input you put in. Kaya yung sa aking trabaho noon, let's say we cost our labor. Let's say a labor will be worth 20 pesos. So yung maraming labor, ikwenta lahat yung kanyang Then yung may lupa, arkilahan yun. Lahat yung may security guard ka, arkilahan yun. In other words, the distribution of your profit will depend on the input, the participation you bring. Even just your presence must be counted. Diba? Pag meeting ganon. And then, ang globo pa doon is, if you're absent for half a time, you cannot speak anymore in the forum. But if you're always present, you can even be a candidate of office. Anyway, those are my wild concepts before. I tried it many times, and it was very good.
Okay. So, any question? Yes, sir.
Do you see why we picked Mambuhay Mira as our Director of Business Council?
My highest respect to the Royal Highness, King Mamay, and Then Helen, and to everybody. I am Engineer Rolando D. Abadia from Indigo City. I was the former chairperson of the Double Resort Small and Medium Enterprise Development Council. With the availability of funds and the projects presented, do we have the time frame when to start aiming this project?
The timeline we have, which we need to submit also to the Royal ICJ, once the first redemption, which will be in Hong Kong, I mean HSBC Philippines, kasi meron na atang order, HSBC Philippines, we will start first kasi po, sabi ko nga, we need to plan first bago ka mag-bring in ng technology dito. So we will start going around and there will be clusters, committees who can go around to the different regions of Mindanao for all of this. Now, those who are interested for the agriculture, for the kasi ngayon pa lang ho kasi, ilang companies na po yung nag-apply sa inyo? 100 plus, 190 companies na yung nag-apply, nag-submit ng mga project studies kayo. But it should still go back to our procedure that we presented with regards to the project studies. So yung timeline ho, mag-start ho siya from the day to rin ho na mag-transfer natin doon sa account ng bank na kung saan we're working out right now, yung sa Amana Bank.
Thank you, Madam.
Yung Amana Bank ang unang I think, mapupuntahan.
Last
Yeah.
question.
Kasi doon siya, yeah.
One of the problems from the farmers or from the producers,
Opo.
the preparation
Preparation.
of the feasibility study.
Correct po.
The traditional way, the groups prepare the feasibility study in a very nice preparation. And when it is implemented, it failed.
Oo, alam mo natin yan. Pagod na ho tayo doon. May ISEF, may PhilExim, etc. No? Alam mo natin yan eh. PhilExim, ang ganda-ganda ng kanilang ISEF, ganun din. Pero, kasi tayo, sumusunod tayo sa international banking system.
Now, in the Royal Imperial Kingdom, can you provide this kind of services
Opo.
to the producers? Just like us in our place, I am the chairman of, in our place, San Agustin Farmers Cooperative. We have no loans. Wala mi utang. We have grown from our own pocket. Umaabot na yun mga 700,000 pesos yung capitalization namin. Hindi kami umuutang sa bangko. Dahil gusto namin yung bangko ang lalapit sa amin para tingnan how feasible our cooperative is. Hindi kami yung parang maghingi ng awa. Titingnan sana nila kami how feasible is our group, is our cooperative. Ganun sana ang mangyayari. So, thank you ma'am kung meron tayong servisyo na mag-provide for this kind of projects.
Susundin po kasi natin yung protocol. So, kailangan, hindi naman lahat matuturuan mo ng ganon. So, as you submit the project proposal lang, there will be really comprehensive project studies that will be done by this. Sabi ko nga, may mga consulting firms na gagawa nun that will be submitted to the Royal Financial Services Committee.
Okay, last 2-3 questions. na.
One of the comments that were made earlier, to bring that into a little clarity, when we said, are the banks ready to handle this? Banking doesn't involve moving bars since 1936. That's why they created gold certificates, that's why many gravi, diba? So when you talk about these vault accounts, and that's what we're talking about, large, and they are documented, and there's 39B going to be released from one place and 7 trillion pesos from another. Those are ledger transfers. Those are bank-to-bank transfers. The mother account will release to the bank, and that what I was talking about in layman's terms for the tribal. Get in line. Prepare your stuff right now. If you need help, yes, the Royal Financial Services will help you prepare your project's feasibility study, your project design, your business plan, by all your reinvestment of your profits, because you need to know what you're going to do with your money when you make money. To guarantee success, you buy a McDo franchise, there's a success model, diba? But in farming, voila. It's farmer, it's seed, it's ground, it's spray, it's rain, it's typhoon, it's rat, it's whatever. So all these contingencies have to be provided for to transfer and elevate the farmer to an agribusiness man. And not just farmer, but on the farm handling of produce and pre-processing, pre-washing, pre-packaging, even into food processing. And like Mambai's outlined, those kind of systems, then the producer becomes part of a bigger picture, which is a cooperative or even a corporate kind of mentality. And it goes into what happened in Korea, Grabi production. When it comes to farmers, you say, what do? They say, farmer, everybody in Korea bow to you. Grabi respectful. And so when it comes to the banks handling this money, it's not transferring. I can show you a picture of a bullion room that would make your eyes cry. It's not moving. There's no lifting scheme. It's not going to be documented. It's going to be released according to what's already existing, how many decades now. And all the accounts have been frozen for a reason. They were reverted to a mother account for a reason. Tunku Abdul Rahman was the first president of Malaysia, the grandfather of King Mamai, the brother of Datu Ali. And some say his face is the face on the ringgit. Go look at the ringgit. His brother looks almost like a twin. So this money, DBS, I'm not going to say which branch, which has 400,000 metric tons of bars. 8 days, 8 ships moved the gold from Sulu to another place. Not outside the Philippines, but outside the Philippines, technically. So that tells you enough right there about. So this money, when it's released, it's by project according to what is needed, milestone, installment, payouts, just like an FLBLC. You just take that down to the wharf and you load it on the ship, and there's the completion certificate. It goes back to the bank releases the money, you're paid. It's the same scenario. So I just wanted to, because I know some of the tribal, I know most of the guys here, and I know that they have the same questions. That step one, get in line. Okay, get your group together, get your cooperative, if you have one. If you don't have one, you don't have to be one. But when it comes to the whole tribal issue, the small producers are the backbone. 68% of all food on the earth is produced by small producers. And people don't know that because we only look at plantations. 80% of Manila eats from the gulay of Mindanao. 60% from one place, Bukidnon. What happens if the rest of Mindanao produce like Bukidnon? Valencia specifically, Norman veggies. That's what we're talking about. And that's just in the agri sector. In the tech sector, we're talking about the attraction of businesses that is going to make Dubai look like Ukay. Because Dubai was built on utang, this is built on cash. And that's why we can give low interest rate, even free financial services to help people get going into business. Not 25,000 dole out for sorry, that says bye-bye. Sorry. Okay?
By the way, yung mga tranches, as na-mention ko nga yung release, hindi nang basta-basta nire-release. Kasi pag i-audit mo na physically, kung hanggang saan na yung sa first tranche na nagawa mo, yung doon sa sinubmit na developmental stages, di ba? May timeline doon. So kung na-liquidate mo na yon at nakita physically ng audit na done, then that's the time you get the second tranche. Hindi yung katulad ng ISAF na walang audit yan, or ng other loans. Walang audit. So it should go through. Now, malalaman namin why. Kasi yung producer side, meron kang meron kang manufacturing sa na rin. We will be providing you the manufacturing at the packaging. So malalaman namin kung anong nangyayari sa iyo, and at the same time also, we will be helping you with the market side. Magtutulungan tayo So alam namin kung kumikita ka na o hindi or what, right? So may audit tayo financial, may operational as mentioned doon, may operational audit na kung sino check kung nag-ooperate ka nga and everything. And what you have written there in your project studies, kailangan yun may ino-audit. Kasi marami na utang experience yan. At alam natin source of corruption yan. So we don't want that to allow also. We cannot tolerate that too.
Okay, last two questions. So if there is none, just to summarize actually, the Royal Imperial Lupasug Islamic United Kingdom and Musulu North Borneo has one very big ambition, actually a vision for Mindanao, and that is for peace and economic growth. Okay, so everything that will bring peace and economic growth to Mindanao, we have to do away with all those corruption things. And all these things will be audited, and all this money will be, as they're released, they will be under the requirement of the ICJ, and even United Nations perhaps might be involved here. So hindi pa to basta-basta. Hindi po to itong grupo lang ang magdi-decide yan.
Yeah. In fact, mas maganda nga here. Those who have the heart for Mindanao and who's willing to do for Mindanao, if you have the expertise, please, we need you.
Yes. This is the time. So before we end, we will ask perhaps each one here in the panel to have their last words, kung ano man masasabi nila, para po we will look and we can visualize what will happen to Mindanao economically and in terms of peace.
Okay, siguro I will take the last word. I'll take the
last words po.
Hindi naman to last words. No? I repeat what I have said earlier. If this is God's will, nobody can stop it. Okay? And in my background, in what I have gone through, I have been 40 years without salary, without income, without business. But with all the skills that can make me billionaire in no time. But He took it all away from me. Let me crawl because He has certain job for me. With that, I'm not special. Everybody has his own role. Always remember everybody's own role. So, you look into yourself, tingnan ninyo yung sarili ninyo, peace man ka at saka development, what will be my contribution? Yan ang pa natin. Yun ating iisipin palagi. Pag marami na tayo, there's so many of us who can be against us. Heaven is with us. So we are assuring you with the old man that what you are doing is from heaven. Thank you very much and God bless you.
So, for those who believe in the Bible, in Jeremiah 29:11 it says, I came here to prosper you and not to harm you. So, Mindanao is here to prosper. Diba? Yeah. Dato Romel.
Akala ko kasi itong press con is for the business and economic program, no? Pero as part of it, as far as Nlf-Sp is concerned, yung mga visions natin para sa mga tao na ilang panahon na, ilang dekada, naglalaban ng mga tao, ng MNLF, MINF, and any other armed groups, no? BIFF, at iba pa. Sana matigil na natin to with our visions and objective na magkaisa tayo. We are not saying na kaya namin, pero ang sinasabi namin, kaya natin. Kasi kung wala kayo, wala kami. Yun ang ginagawa namin ngayon sa Nlf-Sp, the National Liberation Front Southern Philippines. We go to one place to another, to gather, to organize, para makita natin kung ano yung pinaglalaban natin. Hindi lang naman tayo pwede maglaban through guns at kung ano-ano pa yung nakakasakit. We want to fight against poverty. Problema natin, may mga NPAs tayo, may mga MILF, BIFF, at kung ano-ano pang mga armado na lumalaban sa gobyerno dahil gutom sila eh. Ang marami sa kanila, hindi kontento sa buhay na meron sila. With the help of the King and the Queen, with this Sultanate of Sulu and North Borneo, kasi ang sinasabi natin dito, volume of wealth, no? Marami tayong pera. Patunayan natin sa mga tao na marami talaga tayong pera. Paano natin yan patutunayan? Bibigyan natin sila ng mga karapat-dapat na mga proyekto, services na sinasabi ng business sector, para at least maramdaman nila. Ang problema kasi natin dito ngayon, ang mga tao, ang mga opisyal natin, bato-bato sa langit, ang matamaan, huwag lang sana magalit. Ang sa akin lang, karamihan ng mga opisyal natin, ako, I was also a public official. Ang problema lang, sinasabi nila, para sa tao, para sa tao. Pero ang tanong, hindi nararamdaman ng tao, yung para sa tao. Kaya simulan natin to, hopefully, sa paglalaban na, sa laban na ito, sana makuha na natin ang matagal na nating minimithi. Ano ba talaga ang matagal nating minimithi? Kapayapaan. No? Peace. Kasi walang development, walang mga negosyo na papasok dito kung magulo tayo. Nasubukan na yan. Pero ang sinasabi nila, pag may gulo, may negosyo. Babalik na rin natin. Mga negosyante, pumunta kayo rito kasi walang gulo. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much. Wow, it's good to hear that, huh? You like that? Yeah. Of course, that's the future. And now let's hear from our emissary to United Nations and USA, Dr. John Epperson.
Salamat po. When I met Nlf-Sp many years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I told him Sweden was the opposite of everything I heard about Mindanao. Because poverty, the #1 cause of poverty in the world is conflict. And in 22 countries in 18 years, I've seen a lot of conflict. Sierra Leone, Gambia, Liberia, you name it. And when I came to Mindanao, I was sent to Mindanao for a purpose. I was not sent by an organization. I was not sent by anyone. The PM knows why I'm here. I was called here. I came as a missionary, and I served for years. I never knew the Queen was watching me or studying everything I was doing, and she knew my heart was for Mindanao. But it was more for Mindanaoans. Because that's what we all are if we live in Mindanao. If we're living in Davao, we're Davaoans, so, you know, if we're in Jensen, we're generals. So it's just getting past labels, Pop. Getting past labels. We all have the same color blood. And we're one race, and that's human. And so with right now what's going on in Israel and other parts of the world, yes, there is a reset coming, and the banks know that. The existing SWIFT codes and Basel and all that will be going away. There's 23 countries already in a barter system, kind of a banking network that they're developing another alternative system because of what happens after the dollar collapses. Because China has been buying all their oil with US dollars they stockpile from Russia. And Russia now holds 80-90% of all the stockpile of US dollars in the world. When they dump that, the US dollar goes from 6-1 against Chinese to 1-1. When that happens, they'll foreclose on the debt from the US. The US cannot pay, so they will have to forfeit and surrender federal land that has resources, acquired assets. And when that happens, then that's going to reset the financial structure of the planet. That's coming soon, very soon. However, we have to operate today with today's schemes, and we have to plan for tomorrow. The King and the Queen have briefed me for over 3.5 years about their plans, the technology, and like Mumbai said, when the King said first, we don't export anything. We need our assets, our resources. We only export surplus, and if we need something, we make it. We don't import and buy manufactured goods from overseas. I was telling them that we produce PV cells, 10,000 students in Sultan Gujarat, and sell them to Silicon Valley in California, where they mark it up 150% and put it on a panel. No, we make solar. We're going to convert assets, many assets. Whatever we need, the King has given that from day one. Whatever we need, we make. Grabe Filipino ingenuity, the water-based engine. I mean, go down the list of inventors from the Philippines, including from Davao specifically. Dingle and Eric Liu created the water-based engine, hydrogen engine. It was from Davao. So when it comes to my task is to take whatever we have to the world to sell. And of course, bring whatever we need back home, which right now is technology and scientists. And, I mean, they're literally, it would make your eyes cry if you saw what the vision of the King is. I can't even spend enough time in 2 hours to tell you all the vision he has for this land. But it is coming to pass now. And yes, all the bullion in the world doesn't matter. I mean, the Yamacita is here, the Nazi wealth was brought here, the Sultanate wealth is here. All the gold of Solomon that left Mindanao from the land of Ophir, the promised land, is back here in the last 20 years. 1.8 million metric tons. And we don't need that much. All the world's gold combined is 33,000 metric tons being traded. And the King has millions. So with that, I want to buy her a chance for her final words, but they're eternal words because she's going to be dealing a lot more in the future. If you want to get a project, submit it to Mumbai. She'll give you the roadmap. And then Mumbai will be meeting with, and I'll be meeting with all of you when it comes to the lead banks and development. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. John. We would like to hear from the oldest man of this island, I think, of the island, okay? Our only connect. Sultan.
Ganito. Kung ako ang hinihintay mo na busis matanda. Ganito, sa akin sa buong mundo, sa lahat tayo, mag-iisa na. Yun ang uulitin ko. Hindi na tayo pwede mag-away-away. Kung baka sa ano ang ginagawa, kailangan magpuo tayo ng lahat na wala na mangyari. Di ba? Ito ang inuutos ng Allah Ta'ala sa akin, sa Panginoon. Ayaw siya sa away, ayaw siya sa ganito. Kailangan mag-isa. Buong mundo, Panginoon ng Allah Ta'ala. Syukur Allah.
Correct. Very good. Wow. So God made this world perfect. Sinira lang po natin. Ipabalik po natin. Po? Pati yung peace po. Tama po ba? Ayan. And now we'll let us hear from somebody, the soul and the backbone actually of any economy, the Royal Business Council. And let's hear from the chairwoman.
I've said my piece. I would like to give the floor to the Queen. But as I've said earlier, we need each other and we need all those with expertise and all. Please, you can approach the persons who have invited you here. Thank you.
So, what Bhai Amir is saying here is this. Please, those who are here today, go tell people who have the talents, okay, who have the ability to help Mindanao, and we are willing to entertain them and talk to them so that we will grow Mindanao. Hindi lang po itong grupo na to. Malaki po ang kailangan nating mga sundalo. Hindi po sundalo na may baril, ha? Sundalo po dito, sundalo dito, sundalo po dito, at saka yung dalawang paa. Kasi i-grow po natin ang Mindanao. Hindi po to lalaki kung sila lang po. Kailangan po ng maraming tao and then cooperation by everyone. So those who have talents in many aspects, no? IT, business, agri, spiritual, lahat po yun. Leadership, kailangan po natin yan. So tell people around that this group is around to help Mindanao. Now, Queen or the King? Oh, okay. So let's hear from King Mamay Abdurrajak.
We don't want to force you to believe us or not. Because in reality, God willing. That's why I always talk with the President concerned. During the Estado Macapagal, the highest currency in Asia is peso. Among the Brunei, Singapore, and Malaysia, peso is the highest currency. So why the peso is dropped down? Because of the pull-out of Singapore in 1965, Federation of 14 States. They used the currency owned by my grandfather. 189 trillion ringgit deposited in DBS Singapore is owned by the Sultan of Sulu, which is the ringgit Malaysia. Because the Mapilindo, the three countries have given authority to have political appointed sultan. For 50 years, imagine how about the claimants, 200 claimants, is still claiming that they are the true sultan. No, they are only political appointed. They know where the lineage came from. Because for me, I'm only taking replacement of my great-grandfather as the grandson. That's why I have to return back all the money in the whole world back to the Philippines, put in Davao City. We are Mindanao, we are one. We don't want to interfere the ASEAN country to disturb the problem of Mindanao. Malaysia has no right to come to interfere our problem. Luzon also has no right, Indonesia. Organization of Islamic countries now giving support, the 48 countries, which is supporting the Royal Imperial Lupaso United Islamic Kingdom of Sulu and North Borneo. Mabuhay, mabuhay.
Now, in most cases, it's always the woman first. This time, it will be the woman last. She has the last say. Okay, Queen Helen Abdurrahman.
Thank you so much. At this point, I know that the Royal ICJ, all of them, waiting for this eventuality wherein the Business Council comes out. I have already an allocation of 9 trillion from the Royal ICJ. They are just waiting na magkaisa tayo. They are just waiting na ma-stop na natin itong mga contenders na gusto mag-implementa ng projects sa Mindanao. I'm asking the MNLF, you have to collaborate now with the Royal Business Council. The MILF, stop penetrating the Liguasang Mars. The oil field is assigned to me. Malaysia and throughout the world knew that the one in charge is the Raja Sulaiman. And Sultan Kelly Pasandalan is with me. And that is official. And the world of finance knew that the oil field is with us. For the framework, once and for all, we welcome you, the politicians of Maguindanao, the ARMN. Please join us now, because as I said, the money of the Sultanate of Sulu and North Borneo, masyado lang humble si King. Ayaw niya lang i-itemize.